2063, I see an Africa that has values. I see an Africa that is not corrupt.
Economically independent.
Integrated, prosperous.
Free from an image that our history has portrayed. An image of colonization, an image of poverty, an image of oppression.
Young Christians all around the continent of Africa come together every year for the Young African Thinkers Convention, inspired by the youth of Besa International Ministry. Their goal is to make the comprehensive vision they have come to life in the year 2063. They call it Agenda 2063.
In, I would say, maybe around March, we came across this Agenda 2063. And it's an amazing, dream book for the next 50 years. Well, where is Africa going to be? And we were really inspired reading that. And we were surprised that we actually did not know it existed, because it's supposed to be a vision for all of us.
The big bosses came together and they were dreaming and they just put it in writing. So that was in 2013. That thing was established, written and published. And so we got it in 2016, around April or May or something like that.
So we said, okay, we need to make sure that at least with our network, with the people and the young people that we know, we can reach out and tell them, hey, this exists, and then see if they can own it, and then see if they can, run with it. And so we started, and we said, Besa has an MOU with the African Union, and we said we can initiate this and just start.
We drafted a proposal, actually, immediately, in like 2 weeks. It was all this inception. We prayed about it, we felt it's God's timing, and so we just made a concept note together, and then we just made a few phone calls. They got us in, we presented it to the youth division, the African Union. It was a bit nerve-wracking because everything happened so fast that if they even asked us like any deep questions, we might have no answer for it. We were just moving based on our conviction, but they really liked it.
The Young African Thinkers Convention is now an annual 3-day intense brainstorming and idea-generating summit where African youth from different nations gather and give input to make a secure and peaceful Africa that is united and integrated.
Or our first objective when we're doing Young African Thinkers is to first inspire the young people who are coming, to show them that there is this vision, and then they can connect them with their personal purpose, with their personal calling. And then that way we're all working towards the betterment of the continent.
I enjoy the interactions, and I enjoy, also hearing that there is alignment as well in terms of what young people think.
Yes, it has impacted my life a lot. Now I am working toward positioning myself to be the implementer of Agenda 2063.
The other thing that really inspired those young people is that, hey, my voice now counts. I'm having a say, in the future of the continent. And so through this, even to my amazement, now we're seeing leaders, honestly, just rising up after this occasion. And they're started even working on their own personal dreams to better Africa. And there are people now, that are writing books, they're coming up in shows.
After each convention, the daily mandate is to make sure the most outstanding outcomes are implemented. One of the projects from the last convention was a curriculum called Africology. The youth were told to come up with a small draft of a possible curriculum that can be taught across the continent that will actually alleviate some of the issues they see. They took on that project, and now the development of that curriculum is being implemented.
I'd be on my phone or emailing different people in different countries, and I'd realize God is really doing something big. And I realize how really faithful God is, because God is using the Davids, God is using, people like me and the other leaders in the different countries.
We have atheists being part of the convention, Muslims being part of the conventions. And actually this year, those people came for the convention and went saved. For me personally, honestly, my dream is really to see these things come out of the kingdom. And really what really resonates to me is that what Jesus said, that we are the salt. Just a pinch changes the entire taste of a big pot. And so Jesus, when he said that, he's not really talking about numbers, but he is talking about more of influence. And to influence, you don't need to be many, but small, convicted, motivated, and you need to know what you stand for.
Through this convention, Agenda 2063 is now coming to life. As the youth of Africa arise, it will cause a positive change throughout the continent and around the world.
I hope to see people truly fulfilled, which means that not everything is perfect, but people are happy, and that comes from not only the economic growth, the integration, not just that, but to see people actually fulfilled in their lives, in their relationships, and a community that has love.
I see Africa where the hope that we have is realized. Our generation, the next generation that comes after our generation will not have the same problems that we face. An Africa free of corruption, an Africa free of poverty, an Africa free of hunger, such problems will be a thing of the past.